Hello all, I'm sure by now you've seen some of the stunning footage that's coming out of California. Donald Trump is trying to expel some illegal immigrants, largely from Mexico, and it's led to rioting on the streets that's gotten so bad he's sending in the National Guard. Now, I wanted to cover this because I think it gets to the heart of an issue that every Western nation is either already facing or is going to face in the very near future. And that is the phenomenon which is articulated in the meme on your screen of migrants coming into Western nations, saying how much they love their home countries, their home people, hate your country, but please, if anything, don't send us back to the countries we come from and so love. Now, this poses a bit of a problem for the liberal regime because it pretty much shows that these people aren't here to integrate. That's all just a myth of globalism. What these people are here to do is essentially a form of sort of neo-conquest at most. At least it's just the free gives me that. Now, another really interesting dimension to all this, of course ignored by the liberal mainstream media, is the woman holding the sign here. It reads, Raza Unidos. This translates to united race, and again this is a dimension that's been completely ignored by our academic, media and political class when it comes to questions around mass immigration, multiculturalism and the future of the Western world. The generally accepted line is that the only people who think in terms of race are the evil colonialist white people. We suffer from a sort of original sin and we've split the world apart. It's time for us to adopt politically correct ideology, to live in a post-racial consensus and create equality across the Western world. As we know all too well now, this ideology has been propagated by academics, mainstream media, the sporting world, politicians, the corporate world, and is especially popular amongst young people and Western white women. As I've explored a lot on this channel, this ideology is so prominent because A, it suits the wants and needs of money power, and B, because it presents a nice Hollywoodized vision of life. If we just root out the evil in us, everything's going to be wonderful. That's literally the narratives coming out of Hollywood movies. Yet there is a quite big blind spot here that you're not supposed to notice, and if you do notice it, you'll just be called a racist, which remember is a byword for pure evil in modernity. It's well summed up here by the Hispanic American Studies Twitter page. They post La raza no se raja. Again, a literal translation of that is the race does not cross. Now, we can pretty much guarantee that the Hispanic American Studies Organization is going to be pretty woke. It's going to be very anti-American, anti-Western, the West is racist, and so on and so on. But note how they don't mind expressing racial solidarity when it suits them. And this points to the great flaw in progressivism that I woke up to and millions of us did at the end of university. It essentially isn't that racial identity is bad. It's that white racial identity is bad, but minority racial identity is good and should be celebrated. Now, as I've said many times on the channel, I think more and more people are waking up and realising the MLK dream, Michael Jackson's black or white, whatever it may well be, this is meant for white people. They're the only folks that have seemed to bother with this post-racial world. Everybody else has clinged onto their identity very, very tightly. It's no different here over in old Blighty, or at least what's left of it. Here we have Zara Sultana. She's one of these left-wing Labour type MPs who, surprise, marries a white guy. A lot of them do that for some reason. I have to do a video on that sometime. But anyway, here are some of the responses from her kin online. Banging on about being anti-colonialist and anti-establishment, yet marrying an upper-class white person seems contradictory. Love must be one hell of a drug because I genuinely can't understand how you can resign yourself to a lifetime of whiteness. Well, congratulations, I suppose. Brown guys aren't worthy. Kinda hard to take a brown person seriously on colonialism and other similar topics when their partner is white. Now, I'm sure the denizens of the liberal regime would say I'm an evil, knuckle-dragging bigot who could barely tie his own shoelaces, but it seems to me that there's a very, very big problem here. It's easy to say to a dominant group in the Western world, let go of all your identity to create a better world. But as these people get smaller and smaller and people from different parts of the world come in more and more and have their own identity and don't want to let go of it, it's hard to see how things are going to end peacefully. And like I say, if you dig far enough, even at the root of the progressive ideology itself, you find isn't the line that we should live in a post-racial society, that racial identity is bad. It's the idea that white racial identity is bad and minority, quote-unquote, racial identity is good. I mean, can you imagine one of these liberal academic types saying to a black person, you need to let go of your racial identity, your blackness is holding you back? And no Starmer's Stasi, I don't want to see a race war, I don't want to see any violence, I don't hate anybody. I want to point out the innate immorality and hypocrisy of your liberal regime. Personally, I'm struggling to see how this mass immigration multicultural project is going to end well. Let me know what you think down below, and do consider subscribing to the channel if you're new.